All right, welcome back to MMA Unhinged, and join us today is Woodrow James, matchmaker of BTC Fight Promotions. So, Woody, how are you, and how are you feeling as you get the first amateur card in BTC history?
Yeah, it's the first one in Ontario legally sanctioned. There's been events before, but this is by the government sanctioned. It's cool that it's in Sarnia. There's been a lot of history here from when 2011 when Pro came. Sarnia was, we did three of them. It was like 7 shows in Ontario. The city loves fights.
Yeah, well, and you just talked about the city loves fights. So, what has been the reception so far with just the people talking about the event and just everyone just wanting to go and just everything?
Well, it's easy. It's on the fighters. We have a small venue, and I dealt with 5 different local gyms. There's 5 MMA type gyms in Sarnia, and they have athletes representing them all from Forge Training Center, Ghost House MMA, the Butcher Shop. There's Justin Ritchie's gym in Wyoming, and there's Purebred. And there's Iron Eagle. 6 gyms. And they all have reps, so they're doing it for themselves. All the fighters are hustling, and this place is going to be packed.
For sure. So, it's a lot different than a smoker, that's for sure.
Yo, yes. But there's 0-0 fighters on the card. There's rookie fights, and you're going to see smoker type skill levels all the way up to guys about to go pro.
And for people that might not be from the area or in the world of MMA, what is a smoker?
Smoker is more club shows where gyms get together with headgear, shin pads, bigger gloves, and there's no winner. It's just an exhibition bout. There's no medicals. There's no doctors in attendance. There's no sanctioning. This is fully sanctioned. There's paramedics, fully licensed professional doctors there. They have to go through extensive medicals to fight. There's tamed down rules. When you have no fights, there's different rule sets from when you're up in the open class of 10 plus fights.
I wish there was more smokers just across the board in North America, just because, I mean, sometimes it's preparing you for the next level, which would be obviously pro. So I think I wish that they would do smokers for across the board. I don't know if they do, but at least I know for in this area they do. So I think that's really good for even just the people that want to get into amateur. It's a little bit understanding, getting into a show. I think it's really good for them. But I want to talk a little bit about you first here. So matchmaking, how did you get in with BTC Fight Promotions, and how did you just get involved with the whole MMA world?
I'm old, so I've been around a long time now. When I was early 20s, I started training with John Fraser, Chris Clements, 2 high-level pros. Trained with them for a long time. Moved to London. I got injured when I was training for kickboxing, and I was moving home to Sarnia from London. We're a border city. Amateur MMA was illegal here. All MMA was. Over in Michigan, it wasn't. I called a guy I knew over there. Boom, we're doing a show in Port Huron, U.S. versus Canada, and we did 17 shows. I just jumped in 2 feet. I ended up fighting on a few of those shows. And when Professional came here, I was sought after. A lot of people came looking for me to be a matchmaker. And I worked at the Score Fighting Series. I worked at Prospect Fighting Championships. Did a few shows in Sarnia, Professional Fighting Series. Then I worked at now BTC. They had an opening for a matchmaking job. They came to me. I have a lot of history with a lot of the athletes that were on the roster. Adam Asenza being their top draw. He's being one of my closest friends from the very first shows I did. He called his partners and boss, and it was an easy sell. Like, they're great people. They offered great things for me, and I believe I gave them just as good back. So it's a great relationship, and we're the first shows. They're the first of so many. Even before I got here, they were the ones running shows during COVID.
Yeah.
They were the first shows to travel across the province with no fans. Then we did the first Pro-Am in March. That's half pro, half amateur. Now we're doing the first full amateur. It's BTC. So we actually on this card, we have the first women referee in Ontario too. There's going to be a women's ref. She's making her jump, and it's more history as well.
Exactly, history. I mean, we've seen it in hockey. We're seeing it now. We're seeing this sport. I mean, we see it even in the big shows, but to see it in the regional circuit is just something else. And I think you're also just breaking history as well there. In addition to being a matchmaker, what are some of the challenges that you face when trying to put fights together, or when you're either doing face-offs, whatever?
Face-offs, I haven't had no problem at all. They put me in the middle of that because when we first started, there there was more issues, but no, everybody's so professional. But this is amateur, like I said, we just did a pro-am, we only had 4 amateur fights.
Yeah.
This card next week, there's 14.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if we're gonna have issues, I doubt it, I'm still gonna be the one in the middle. But the challenge is with amateur, the 0-0 guys with no real experience, everything from, they have to get their medicals done, they have to
Yeah.
do interviews, they have to, I don't wanna call it babysitting, but it feels like it a lot, I just have to be on top of a lot.
Right.
So many of these guys have pro coaches that it's so easy. I don't have to do anything. It's just done.
Right.
Not everyone's like that. So
Yeah.
there's challenges left and right with, I don't know. I wish someday to tell all kinds from all the shows I've done.
Yeah, and I mean you know, and just being a matchmaker, being even on the pro scene part of things. What is the challenges with that? Is it just how much players want to get paid, the contracts, it doesn't seem like BTC really has rankings. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but it doesn't seem like they have rankings. So how do you determine who's next to go for the title, who's next to have that number 1 spot?
You're right. We don't have rankings. Hopefully the BTC brass is watching and we can get some rankings because my champions at BTC, I call them mine because I've been the matchmaker, can beat any champion in Canada. Look at our champions. Tony Laramie, TJ Laramie, Series Cities in the UFC.
Yeah.
Ashley Nichols, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Our 55 champ is Joash Walkins. Him and Adam Asenza had a war. 170, Jesse Ronson.
Yeah.
Those are our champions.
Yeah.
They can beat anybody's show in the province, but rankings-wise, how I figure out the next matchups, it's Ontario. Regional MMA is what we mainly do around here, and there is fights make themselves.
Yeah.
Like we do need to get a ranking. I like that.
Yeah.
We need to have that.
Well, and I mean, hopefully they do that soon if the brass is watching. But, you know, so that being said, like, this is going to be your first amateur card, full card, everything. So what kind of prompted this decision? Obviously, Ontario went back on legalizing amateur MMA, but was it just strictly that, or did you decide we need to have a full amateur event? And what prompted the decision to have it in all places in Sarnia, Ontario?
Irene Starr and Sherry Carruthers are my 2 bosses at BTC.
Yeah.
They're bold. They always love being the first. They love going till no one's gone and done things, and they're the first amateur show. They asked me, where do you think we want to go?
Yeah.
I begged for something Sarnia, London, Windsor, Chatham area. I'm from here. I've done all these shows for 3 years in the GTA past. They gave me this opportunity. Adam Asenza vouched for me. He fought in the first battle at the border, and this is probably battle at the border 28 for BTC 28. So
Yeah, of course.
literally BTC, they're bold. They will do things, take chances, and I believe the city sold itself. Look at,
Absolutely.
There's been 5 pro shows. There's been about 5 unsanctioned amateur fights,
Yeah.
kickboxing events, and they always sell out. Sarnia likes to watch fights, drink beer, easy sell.
And I think that's just it. I think Sarnia, the city of Sarnia, I think, and I can speak for the people, not just Sarnia, but here we are in Corona here, just Sarnia Lambton. I think the people are looking for not just maybe just hockey or wrestling, kickboxing, but they're ready for something fresh and new. I think a lot of people know what MMA is, but I think the general population just wants something new, and this is a good head start. And do you feel like this is a good, I don't want to call it experiment, but this is something to kind of see how it's going to work in Sarnia and then go from there?
I plan to be here once or probably every 6 months to an event, either kickboxing, boxing, MMA, something combat sport. The city does like it, and they'll be there Saturday night to prove it. I'm not worried at all about that proving anything. I think it's going to be easy sell. You'll see Saturday night. It's going to be easy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so pro card coming up here the next 6 months?
Not a pro card. I don't think Sarnia has, and I'm not doubting that. This is all new amateurs.
Yeah.
All our pros have all retired. There's no pros in Sarnia right now.
Yeah.
Like, they're all going to be in the corners coaching all these amateurs.
Yeah.
John Fraser, Jesse Gross, myself, Bobby Joe DL. Like, these are Rowan Cunningham.
Yeah.
These are all pros. Dylan Lacroix.
Yeah.
They're all guys locally who are gonna be cornering on Saturday night that are pros that aren't fighting anymore, so.
And so let's talk about the card itself. There's fights that I think every fight is going to be a great fight, but there are those fights to really watch for. Maybe those matchups that are maybe more high risk fights. So break me through all these fights and maybe the rules when it comes to novice and when it in the amateur rules.
Well, from top to bottom, I believe it's gonna be action-packed, but if we start right from the main event is Craig McDonald. He's coming off a layoff, same with his opponent. They both have the same experience. They've been fighting since 2007, 2008, but with big layoffs. So they're coming in, they're both strikers, neither wants to grapple, love it. Co-main event, Hudson Adair, he's the most active amateur in Sarnia area. Jesse Gross is his coach. He's fighting Mike Adams, Mark Hominick and Sam Stout are his coach.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be two high-level gyms going at it with each other. They both have a lot of experience. I don't think either guy wants to grapple in that fight either. The next fight down, Justin Ritchie, who's out of Wyoming. If you've been to fights in Sarnia, Lambton area, he's fought kickboxing, MMA. He's been part of many shows in this area, and he's not boring. He's so exciting. But he's fighting a guy from Aurelia. They're coming up here. They're not coming up here to be the stepping stone. They're going to be the spoilers.
Yeah.
And then if you go even down one more fight, there's two high-level guys from Sudbury and Mississauga, two big gyms, 5-2 against 4-1, I believe. But then early on the card, there's 5 locals on their novice fights. And the rule difference with those, it's going to be hard to that evening, I hope it goes well, but no striking to the head on the ground.
Okay.
And there's no suplexes.
And is there a reason for that? Sorry to interrupt you, but is there a reason for that?
They want people that are trying it out to have that experience of a full fight, or but not at risk of injury. A lot of these guys are just hobbyists.
Yeah.
But then if you go higher in the card, there's all those rules.
Yeah.
In amateur in Ontario, the main rules nobody's allowed to do is no elbows ever, no knees to the head, and no twisting leg locks. That's the difference from pro.
Okay.
But then from those rules down to novice are no punches to the head on the ground and no suplexes. So that's about the difference. But everyone's wearing sock shin pads
Yep.
and bigger 7-ounce gloves.
Now, is there anything stopping someone having difficulty with grabbing with the fingers?
I don't know. That's up to the refs that night. I don't know. I don't think it'll be an issue in these gloves because they're the bigger ones. Like they're grappling gloves. They're full. I've trained in those gloves, and no, I don't see it being a problem.
For people that don't know, with this upcoming fight, when does the first fight start and when does the main card start?
The doors open at 5 p.m. There's food and alcohol available on site, so come early. The first fight's at 6 p.m. Like I said, there's 14 fights, so I'm going back to back to back. There'll be a couple intermissions to give our staff, the officials, break, but we're going back to back. We're going to get out of there probably, I say, by 10 o'clock. So don't come late. You're going to miss action. Right, that first fight of the night's going to be good. If you can't make it, we're now signed with called Spectation Sports. You can go to their website. It shows how to sign up for their app. You can watch it from home. I think it's a monthly fee, and you can watch all BTC events going forward.
Absolutely.
And then if you want tickets, there will be tickets at the door. But if you want to get tickets in advance, btcfight.ca. Go to that website. Don't follow those fake links on Facebook.
Yeah, I've been seeing quite a bit of them, so.
Our web page only at Spectation Sports.
Now, a little off topic, but I've heard some rumors. Lena Cook, what's going on with her, and what's next for her in BTC Fight Promotions?
I think we got a deal done where she's going to fight for the title in June 7th in Burlington. It's not official. We're about to announce another show, our next pro show after. So we're just trying to work it all out. I think we got an opponent for her. Don't know how it's going to work out, but we want her to fight for the vacated bantamweight women's title. It'd be awesome to have her fight for it, but it's got to be the right fight. Any ideas?
You know what? I can't say I can't be biased here, but I think she's got a great future ahead of her. Coming from a great gym out there in Niagara top team. So I just think that whoever she has, it's going to be a great fight. And
Saturday night too.
excellent. And so I think we'll have to meet up with her and see what's going on. But yeah, no, I think that's going to be great. But what's going to be more great is May 3rd. It's going to be a first amateur card in BTC history. So guys, don't be staying at home. Come out to the event. Get your tickets now. And this is gonna be a great night. And it's gonna be a lot of fun. And I'll be there. So, anything you want to say?
No, I appreciate everything. Please come out and support amateur MMA. Let's get this, our hometown support. There's a lot of local fighters, so thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you.